Welcome to Scuba Facts. I am Scuba. These are my facts. Episode 7. I feel like I have been away forever. There's been just IRL stuff, in real life stuff, just illnesses and just no time. And also Fallout 76 has just been taking up a lot of my time. You know, long day at work, get home, deal with the kid's in bed, can't really talk as loud as I would like to talk. And then, I've got to beat through all the barriers to sit and talk about stuff. And I'm like, trying to figure out some time, trying to carve out some time. But I've carved out some time today, and I am back. Here we go, episode 7. So part of the reason that, it's taken me a while to record is my little girl had her first cold, which was a viral infection. So that was fun. So taking it in turn, sleeping on the sofa and stuff like that. So yeah, so the very first night it was my turn to sleep on the sofa, she spent all night lying on my chest, coughing in my face, like Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura. So the next morning I woke up with a sore throat. And everybody wants you to get antibiotics. Forget about Bill Gates with his supposed microchips in the vaccinations. Think about what antibiotics have done to us, because people just can't recover without them. And you got these super bugs now which are antibiotic resistant. So we're kind of ended up back to square one anyway. But it's just a crazy... Everybody you speak to is like, oh, you're going to need antibiotics for that. But I don't want them. So I've managed to get through pretty much without them. Because I haven't really had antibiotics that much in my adult life. Probably in the last 15 years, I'd say. How old am I? Probably in the last 15 years. I think I've had them once, maybe twice, but I only remember one occasion. And that was super recently. That was a couple of years ago when that damn dog bit me. And you know what I was saying about everybody telling you need antibiotics. So everybody told me you need antibiotics. So dogs bit you. If you got saliva, blah, 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 you could be really ill, blood poisoning, whatever it is that dog bites get you. So I listened to people. I'm like, okay. I got to just go with it. Supposedly this is what you've got to do. So if I've got to do it, that's what I've got to do. So I go to the doctors. I go there and I tell him what had happened. He looks at the bite and he asked me what I was wearing. I said, yeah, I was wearing clothes. I wasn't in somebody's backyard with no clothes on, surprisingly. So he said to me, well, chances are, looking at the wound as well, the dog he bit you through clothes and you're quite thick clothing. So I don't imagine any of it's gone into the cut anyway. So I'm like, sweet, no antibiotics, right? Right? No, he says, no. Take antibiotics just in case. The cult strikes again. The antibiotic cult strikes again. So I took antibiotics and they made me feel terrible. And I feel like ever since then, they've been itching to give me a reason. Come on, let's give him another reason to take antibiotics again. We want to be inside of you. That's what the antibiotics say to me. But I think so far I've managed to beat this without antibiotics. So it just goes to show what good old-fashioned immune system can achieve. Or maybe I'm going to be super ill still. I don't know. My throat feels okay now. It's taken a while, though. I'm getting older, man. Getting older. At what point do I have to give up? Get my vaccine, get my Bill Gates microchip, and start telling people you should get antibiotics for that? Yeah, I don't see it. Not anytime soon. So, another reason that I've taken so long to record is, I don't know how old people are who might be watching. I presume they're similar age to myself, But when you're doing adulting stuff, when you're adulting, and that's to say being an adult, not, swingers clubs, when you're adulting and you've got a family, your own free time to do things that you want to do and enjoy, that really does not take a priority. So this is how I work it anyway. So I say, okay, this is the time available. These are the jobs that need doing. Let's divide up this time. I'll give you some of my time. And this is all to my wife, of course. I'll give you some of my time. And in return for helping you do the things that you want to do, I just want to be left alone. Just leave me alone. Just for a small amount of time. You're not going to give me, you know what I mean? I'm not asking for anything crazy. If I've got a week off, give me one day. That's what I want. One day. So yeah, all good. I'm going to help decorate. which I hate. I'm not a painter. I'm not good at it. I haven't had a lot of practice at it. Ugh. But what are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? You got to do it, right? So I'll help decorate. I think we had maybe been I forget timescales. That might have been the weekend we had the kids' little birthday thing. So the idea was anyway that I would do the family stuff. I think I had like 4 days off. I'd do the family stuff. And on my last day, I'd get a day to myself, right? Guess what happened on the last day? Kid gets ill, day cancelled. No recording for old Scuba. But back to decorating. So for me, in the past, all I ever wanted was a nice, clean, empty, white room, beyond minimalist. I just wanted me sat in a big-ass, comfy-ass, lazy boy with a plant next to me. Just a solitary, singular plant that I would care for and love, like Leon from that film. Oh, what's that film called? Leon. But, I'm older, I got a family, I got other people. Other people have to live here, and it's got to be functional too. So that plan went out the window a long time ago, but I still like just white rooms and minimal, and I don't want clutter, I don't want nothing. Casey, however, claims to be minimal, but I don't know, man. But she basically said that we were decorating and she wanted something on the main wall. Now, I suggested a 2-pack mural. Yeah, like that one. And she didn't mind that idea. However, we went with grey. So, that's not so great. But Casey's just got like this fear. It started off funny. Now I'm worried. It's this fear of flat, empty spaces. Like, if you've got a flat surface, there needs to be something on it. Even if it's a candle or an ornament. I'm just like, just let it be flat. Let it be flat. Let it be empty. And let's just enjoy it. But no. So coming with that fear of flat spaces comes a desire to create more flat spaces, to put stuff on those flat spaces. Which brings us on to shelves. Shelves are wall trash with ornaments and junk. It's like, okay, if you need storage solutions and you want to put a shelf up, that's okay. I can live with that if it's functional. If you need a shelf and you've got to put stuff on that shelf, but don't. Yeah, look at that. Looks great. She's good. She's a great wife. However, I don't want wall trash. I don't want every wall to have shelves for more flat spaces that we need to cover in ornaments and candles. And where does it end? She is great though. And I'll tell you what's funny as well. She says she watches these, but we're going to find out today, aren't we? Since the last episode, I was in court. I've been to court. And you know what's nice? You know what's real nice about going to court? Not being the defendant. So for once, I was in court, but I wasn't in trouble. And even if we lost, it was no big deal to me, really. It was an insurance thing. Basically, a guy, and this was like a year ago or something stupid like that, a guy swerved in front of me and slammed his brakes on. Now, he claims that I pulled out of a junction, causing him to swerve, and for some reason, he slammed his brakes on. In reality, he was probably texting, man. He was probably texting and didn't even see me till the last minute. But he was like, it was a 60-mile-an-hour road. It was a long, straight, country-ish road. And I'm pulling out from this pub car park. Now, keep that in mind. That's going to come back later. So I'm pulling out of this pub car park onto this road, and I've looked in the distance, and I've seen this tiny speck of a car. And since then, I've gone back, and by my estimations, if he was doing 60, which he wasn't, then he would have taken him about 8 seconds to get to my point. So you're telling me for 8 seconds, he maintained speed and went, yep, gonna have to swerve around this guy and slam my brakes on for some reason. Rubbish. So I pulled out, he's swerved around me, slammed his brakes on, guy's aggressive, and I'm thinking, just punch me. Just punch me. Give me an excuse, sucker. But he didn't. He mouthed off a little bit, but I'm like, nah, I ain't losing my cool and becoming the bad guy in this. This guy's done something wrong. Basically, it was like a road rage incident gone wrong. I think what he thought was going to happen was that in his head, because he's doing probably 80 or 90, and I've pulled out, and he's seen me pull out and thought, well, I can either slow down or I can overtake him like an idiot and really inconvenience this guy, which he attempted to do, but I don't think he was counting on me being fully loaded or laden, as the professional term is. And so when he slammed his brakes on, I couldn't stop in time, so I just went to the back. And it wasn't even that bad of a crash. But of course, he put all kinds of claims in, medical, whiplash, I don't know, tinnitus, and I don't know, his toes hurt, now his fingers he can't feel things in his fingers. I don't know, all types of crazy claimy stuff. But we won. He fell to bits, man. He fell to bits. Oh yeah, that thing about the pub. He said that I pulled out from the junction next to the pub. That's how far away he was. He couldn't even tell which junction I'd even come out of. So then his solicitor was like, well, maybe you did come out to the junction and not out of the pub. But my route ends at the pub, so I would have I've honestly, in all the time of working in that area, I've never been on the road that he claimed I pulled out of. I've got no reason to. So yeah, he fell to pieces when questioned. He did not stand up to scrutiny. And that's not the first time I've been questioned by a solicitor. So it's just like you can't let him lead you down these paths where it can cause ambiguity to the things that you said, either in your statement or things that contradict what actually happened, because they're very good, aren't they, solicitors? They can walk you down that pathway where they just tie you up, and all of a sudden you're getting frustrated, you're getting snappy, and you're saying things that you don't mean. And there was a point where I started biting and I started like saying a few things back, but then I'm just like, you know what, this is exactly what she wants. So I just started responding with, no, that didn't happen. Nope, that's incorrect. Well, you could say that, but I certainly wouldn't. You know what I mean? Just shutting it down. And as soon as I started doing that, she was like, nah, this guy ain't going to break. This guy is not going to break under pressure. Call me Diamond, baby. Only get stronger under pressure. But yeah, we won. So that was pretty sweet. Got a day in court. It took so long. I don't think it was going to. I mean, to be fair, I could have just left, but I wanted to see it out because it's been me that's been pushing it, because I felt like I had no financial stake in this. I don't pay the insurance policy, so my insurance wasn't affected, and it's cost me nothing. But it was just like that. You really going to be scamming me? And I don't think he was scamming. In fairness to the guy, I think he was just an idiot. I don't think he was intentionally. I don't think he did it with the thought of, I'm going to put a claim in here. But either way, backfired. So he really started playing on his anxiety, though. And he says every time he sees a van of the company I work for, he gets all worried. Why? Oh, anxiety. What is he, a 15-year-old girl? No, Steve, that's not okay to say. I would like to take this time to apologise to 15-year-old girls. No apologies. I'll tell you what was funny though. My boss is just like he just works. He's just a rough and ready kind of guy. And I said to him, come dress smart, mate. I mean, I dressed full suits because what, you know what I mean? You're in court, you dress full suit. I said, dress smart, mate, because I knew he'd turn up in his overalls or something like that. So he's turned up and he looked fine. He just had some jeans and a black sweater on. But when we were walking into court, I actually read what it said on his sweater. And it said, weekend offender, admit nothing. So he's in court to give evidence. I mean, his evidence was only kind of like additional because it was his actual policy, so it didn't really matter, but it just made me laugh. And he hadn't even clicked because he just, weekend offender's a brand, right? So he just had, I'll see if I can find the picture of the sweater, but yeah, weekend offender, admit nothing. What a thing to wear to court. Man, my boss is cool, man. The census has happened. That's been a thing where you've got to give the government all of your private information, like they don't already have it, you know what I mean? And all this data, all this information, which is so valuable, which we're told constantly, do not give out, and everybody does anyway. And the government's just like, yep, I'll have some of that. I'll take that. This census, in the past, I would have dragged my feet because I'm kind of against census anyway. Take the details, man. I've got no problem for them recording that I exist, but I'm a bit of a Ron Swanson when it comes to stuff like this. I just don't see why I should have to. If I want to volunteer up my information, that's one thing. But if I don't know. So in the past, I've always dragged it out. And when me and Wadey lived together, we dragged it out so long, I don't even know if we ever filled it out in the end. I think in the end, because we ignored like all the warnings and whatever, we're just like, what are you going to do? We're young and stupid and are prepared to deal with the consequences. So in the end, there's just some guy come knock on with like a clipboard. He asked us about 5 questions, and then I think we were just like in the clear. Wadey, do you remember that? Wadey will probably watch this. Wadey, Drop in the comments. Do you remember that? Did we fill out that census? Anyway, this census annoyed me because now I'm in a different stage of my life and I don't want the hassle. And also, my wife likes to follow rules, so she's asking me questions, and I'm just giving super basic answers because if they want more information, they can come see me. I'm not giving it up. Anyway, I filled it out to the minimum extent that I had to. But get this, it wouldn't let me put Jedi as my religion. Now, I've always put Jedi. When I got arrested and they asked me what my religion was, I said Jedi. When I was in prison and I filled out a form to go on a gym course and it said on there religion, I put Jedi. Actually, funny enough, I think it made one of the instructors found it funny, and I got on the course because I don't know. I mean, I presume that because that was the only thing out of the ordinary on there. But anyway, so it would not let me put Jedi, but even more weird was there were other Scientologists in the UK, because if you're a Scientologist, there was nowhere for you to put that. If you were a Mormon, there was nowhere for you to put that. So there wasn't even an other section. Troubled me. It really troubled me. I just had a bunch of gender questions as well, so I answered them vaguely, like prove how I identify. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna prove how I identify? I'll put whatever I want. Those are the rules. The rules are I can say whatever I am, and that's what I am. So what a stupid question, because I could have just changed my mind after I wrote it anyway, because that's how it works, right? Like, I identify as a woman, now I'm a woman. Oh, back to a man again, I'm a man again. Is that how it works? Man, if anybody actually watches these videos one day, like, imagine if I get really popular and then one day they pull these videos up and and they'll slate me and demand apologies, and I'll say, no apologies. I wonder if I'll ever get in a position where I've got to make an apology video. What would I have to apologize for? See, the way I see it, right, I ain't looking for big brand sponsorship or anything like that. If I could get to a point where I had an audience, I would be Patreon or subscription or something. That's how I have no interest in advertising. I think advertising is such a con. I don't even think advertising really needs to be a thing. If everybody just said, okay, we're going to stop advertising, people would still buy things, and these companies would save massive amounts, and maybe they could pay people more. Anyway, advertising. So would I be cancelable? I wonder if I would be cancelable. Let's say I was doing this as a full-time job, and I had a fan base who were paying me money on Patreon, and like, how could they? I mean, I suppose on an extreme level, you could get deplatformed, like someone like Alex Jones, or I guess Trump kind of did, didn't he? But that's extreme, right? I ain't never going to say anything that can get me as much trouble as Alex Jones. Am I? No, I mean, I quite like Alex Jones. Oh, man, is that enough? I would like to take this time to apologize for saying I like Alex Jones. No. No apologies. No apologies. So that's just a little bit. You know what? I don't normally have that much to say about me or what's been going on with me, but yeah, it's been a little bit of time. It's been fun. So let's see what else has been going on. I saw this made me laugh. It's supposedly a message from Robert Downey Jr. to somebody. Hello, fan. This is Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man. I lost my credit card and I need money for a plane ticket. It's spelt wrong. So I can come meet you. Can you send me money? I'll bring Chris Evans. Then the next message says, hello, this is Chris Evans. Like, okay. So this scammer is wanting you to believe that Robert Downey Jr. has lost his credit card and needs money for a plane ticket. That's just a ticket that's plain, by the way. It doesn't get you access to an aeroplane. It's just a blank piece of paper that says ticket. It's a plane ticket. And he wants you to send some money. And as a kicker, he'll bring Chris Evans. Here you go, Chris. Just type to let him know you're here. Hello, this is Chris Evans. This just made me laugh. And I don't know why, because this is just stupid. It is stupid and it is silly, but it made me laugh, and it's just that visual, that visual of Robert Downey Jr. Like, imagine this actually really went down, and Robert Downey Jr. just the passing him. Not, I'll get Chris Evans to send you a message from his account. Why would he do that? He'll just pass him his phone. Oh man, maybe that just made me laugh more than I don't know. But that's funny, right? That's funny. So we've had some new Marvel action. In fact, I don't know if I've recorded since Winter Soldier, Falcon guy. What's it even called? Falcon Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Right. I haven't even recorded since that's been out. So by now, people. I can't be spoiling anything. But basically, Casey said there'll never be another Captain America, and I disagree because Captain America is a rank in the American military. It's not a person. And yes, the role was created for a specific person, but that doesn't mean that somebody else can't be Captain America. And Casey was adamant that's not going to happen. There will be no more Captain America. And I said, okay, let's have a £20 bet on it. Of course, even if I won, she would never pay. And luckily for her, she never pays bets because by the end of the episode, there was a new Captain America. And she hated that guy's guts, man. Hated him with a passion. And in the end, Falcon became Captain America anyway, so she technically owes me like £40 for that bet. I reckon she'll pay. Casey, if you're watching, put in the comments whether you're going to pay or not. I thought it was interesting when the Falcon went to try get a loan and couldn't get a loan. Like, I mean, I think that was just like a bit of a social awareness sort of thing. I don't know what their angle was particularly there. But can you imagine the endorsements that the Falcon would get, or any superhero? Can you imagine how much Nike would pay to have a superhero in one of their commercials? Like, that bit bothered me. It was like, okay, well, you can make out that he doesn't get paid by the Avengers, because that was something that I was wondering about. Did Tony Stark pay him? Like, what's the crack with that? But think about the endorsements you get. You get all kinds of things. Imagine, what's that? What's the thing that everybody sells? G Fuel. Imagine the Falcon would have his own channel, and all he'd do is just talk about Falcony things, and he'd sell G Fuel, and he'd be the new PewDiePie. Yeah, it was a bit weird though. Once I don't know, a whole load of new Marvel stuff's been announced, and I'm not really like a big Marvel guy. I enjoy them, but it's not my, Star Wars is my thing. But one thing I do want to see in the MCU is Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom is so goddamn cool, and I just don't want to. I know they've announced a Fantastic Four movie, and it would make sense for him to come back in there, but I don't want him to just be a villain for one movie. He's too great of a character, and also he toes that line. He's not between kind of like he's like good and bad. He's a bad guy. He's a villain, but the people of Sokovia love him, and well, at least they did in the comics. Who knows how they're gonna portray him? But he's kind of like the bad Tony Stark mixed with Doctor Strange. Yeah, he's got magic, right? He's got some kind of magic stuff. But anyway, I think he's gonna be a great character, and I hope he's going to come in as a villain, and I hope he finds this middle ground where, sometimes you've got to go and see Doom to beat the new bad guy, and Doom's like, oh, I don't like you guys, but okay, just this one time, but don't come again. But then they come again, and then they get like this whole thing. I don't know if I vocalized that point very well, but you know what I'm saying? He's kind of got like a whole politician side of him, and a magic side, and a technology side, and a bad side, and a good side. I mean, one of my favorites comics, I can't remember, what's it called now? Infamous Iron Man. I love those comics. And that's Doom becomes Iron Man and starts being a good guy. There's a lot of scope for Doom. I want to see him back. Let's get it. Well, not back because he's never been. But, we saw him in the Fantastic Four movie, and he was good in that. And I like the guy who played that. But, let's see what the MCU can do. Speaking of Star Wars, just a little thing. I was watching Rogue One recently. I wonder why Galen Erso didn't just rig the Death Star so that when it fired, it blew up. That seems like a really easy, instead of taking a chance, because yeah, he built a flaw in the Death Star, but he was taking a big chance that anyone would be able to exploit that flaw. And realistically, the Empire should have never been. I think obviously they got caught with the pants down. If they'd had more ships in the area and things like that, I guess it was that kind of like Titanic mindset of this ship is unsinkable, But it just made me think. I was watching it and I thought, yeah, okay. So luckily, a space wizard managed to shoot that tiny hole and trigger that chain reaction that you've built into the Death Star. But wouldn't it be better for you to, like, all you had to do was build a big bomb in there and change, like, I don't know, the Z key on somebody's keyboard, just one random guy's keyboard, change the Z to a button that blows the Death Star up. Can you imagine? And he's typing away, and then one day he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go to the zoo." Boom. Yeah, that's what I would have done if I was Galen Erso. What do I know? I'm just a friendly neighborhood scuba trying to make his way in the world. Okay, so this happened a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't had a chance really to tell you. I forgot to tell you last time we were recording. I'm glad I did. So I was just doing some missions, right? Just, keeping myself to myself. I was actually just exploring, going after junk and stuff like that.
I don't know what that sound does.
And so I've come across this like little horde of Scorched. Yeah. So I'm shooting them. Then two guys turn up. One of them's like level 98. One of them's like level 20 something. I think I was level 30 something at the time. And so they start killing the Scorched as well. They get your power armor on for you, mate. Looks like we're cave jumping. So they start killing the Scorched. We kill all these Scorched. I put up the little, the little thumbs up.
Yeah.
Little yes, thumbs up. Because when I'm playing on my own, I'm rarely in the mood to talk to strangers. Do you know what I mean? So my microphone's up.
Exactly.
The microphone's still on, but the microphone's up. So anyway, are we jumping? Let's jump.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jumping!
Whoa.
Nice.
Superhero landing.
So these two people come towards me, and they stood around me, and then they're like, "Scuba, scuba," like in some like crazy Borat voice, like Eastern European. Scuba, scuba.
Yeah.
So I just start walking off. I'm like, I ain't talking to you guys. So then they're like, "Scuba, you want a PvP?"
Oh no.
And I'm like,
You're not really known for walking away from a fight, are you, right?
Well, this is going to play in later on. So I say to him, oh, I've got another jump. So I say to him, like, well, no, first I just carried on walking. And then one of them shoots me a couple of times. So I was in my power armor. I looked what guns I got. Now, bear in mind, these two guys are like I said, one's like level 90 something, one was like 20 something. I was level 30 something, maybe just into my 40s. So I looked into my guns, and I was like, nah, I don't want to, boys. You know what I mean? I didn't even have any good guns on me because I was just out collecting. I didn't want to have any heavy guns because I'm just out collecting stuff. Do you know what I mean? Desk fans and whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
So I put my best gun on. And bear in mind, they're both putting shots on me now. Like, I put my best gun on.
You were safe, right, until you initiated one back.
Yeah, but it still takes energy off, so if they shoot you for long enough, they will kill you. That's how you get wanted.
Really?
Yeah, because that's how you get wanted if you kill a player who hasn't initiated PvP. So, I put my best gun on. I'm dodging a few shots. And then I ran. I ran as fast as I could, and they chased me. They chased me laughing.
So a couple of videos ago where we were like complimenting the community and like saying it's nothing like we've ever seen.
And like you just said, I'm not known for running away from a fight, and even though it's a video game, and even though these two Borats were laughing at me when I was running off, it bugged the hell out of me all night. So all through the night, I was looking at them on the map, seeing where they were going.
Watching them.
And I thought, chances are... Oh man, we've got people here. Oh no, it's a scavenger. Being chased by a chicken.
It's gonna kill me.
Don't kill him, don't kill him. Don't kill him, hang on. Don't kill him.
But he's red. He hates me.
See if he gives anything. Yes, he can go. What's he got? Nothing.
Nothing.
That sucks. So yeah, I was. Yeah, I was watching these guys all night, but I thought right at the end of the night, I was like, right, this is my last chance because I'm not gonna. Chances are I'll never see these guys again. You know what I mean?
Scuba.
Scuba, you PvP? Like some Yick Schmidt. Very nice PvP, yes? At the end of that, I thought, but then check it. He's level 98. He's obviously been playing considerably. He's almost double my level.
Mm-hmm.
The chance, if I come across him now, I'd definitely go up against the level 98. Do you know what I mean? But I thought, if I go there and then lose,
yeah,
I thought I'm going to be even more annoyed. So yeah, I still feel shame to this day that these guys.
I thought the whole story was leading up that you faced them. You didn't.
No.
It's disappointing.
I ran off while they were laughing, bro. They were laughing, shooting me as I ran
every
off.
time they're playing now and they come across like a coward. Look how they play it. They call him a
scuba. Oh, don't even say that. Oh man. So yeah, that's been my only time I've been attacked. I'm gonna watch. Go back over where you are. Go back over where you were. I'm gonna watch because this is a good little view. Yeah, do a sprint jump.
Am I going? Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it. Nice.
180. Get the fuck off.
Get the fuck off. Solar Opposites. So Solar Opposites is Justin Roiland's new show. It's on Disney Plus on the Star section, I think. Right? That's more mature stuff. It's kind of like an Adventure Time mixed with Rick and Morty with a whole other twist. But one thing I've been thinking, so Korvo, which is essentially one of the main characters, if not the main character, he's got a very similar voice to Rick. Now, Justin Roiland is great at voices, and you can usually tell when it's one of his voices because they've got a very certain style. But even still, I feel like he could have done a different voice for Korvo, considering it's quite sci-fi, high concept sci-fi rigmarole. So why make Korvo's voice so similar to Rick? And it got me thinking: is Korvo a Rick? Is Solar Opposites basically just an offshoot of Rick and Morty? And I don't know if anybody else has put these two together or whether I'm just seeing things that aren't really there, and that's probably more likely. But why wouldn't he have given him a slightly different voice? That's the thing for me, because it's very similar, and we've seen that Rick's and Morty's can be very different. I mean, look at Ham and Morty. I really like the whole side story of the wall, people getting shrunk and building a whole society, and they develop religion, and you've got a dictator, and you've got somebody who overthrows it. And if you haven't seen Solar Opposites, check it out. Real cool show. If you like Rick and Morty, you're going to love it. If you don't like Rick and Morty, you might not like it. But I think it's still likable, even if you don't like Rick and Morty. But why don't you like Rick and Morty? What's the problem? Why aren't you wearing Rick and Morty t-shirts? I'm just going to get a little quick segment for DMX, who died. Man, that hit me, to be honest. I mean, Michael Jackson, Prince, I don't know, George Michael, other legends didn't really bother me because I was never really too invested. Whereas DMX was the guy. I mean, when all my friends were listening to Oasis, I was listening to Jay-Z and DMX, and that was, X. But rest in peace, DMX. He died doing what he loved, man. Living his life. He said himself, if he dropped dead tomorrow, at least he could say he's had a good life. And he hasn't had an easy life. But one thing that I did see, I don't really know how to feel about this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw people on Twitter and stuff saying that people who knew him should have helped him and should have looked out for him better. But some people don't want to be helped. Maybe he did want to be helped. Maybe he could have been helped. But I think somebody who's lived a life like he led, I think there's a lot of it's a noble way to live your life the way that you want to live it right up until the end. And that's what I took from it. He was in control of his own destiny. I don't know. Still super sad though. Rest in peace, DMX. Okay. Let's end the episode. That was Scuba Facts. What have we got? No, we've got this. We got what are my scuba facts for this week? Okay, so I wrote some different ones instead of just summarizing. Like I said I was going to. Here's the first scuba fact for this week. Ignorance truly is bliss. Sometimes I look at people who are happy and I just think, you're so stupid. You don't even realize you're supposed to be miserable. And that makes me jealous. Think about that. Replay that bit. Replay that. Let that sink in. That one's a deep one. What else we got? At Christmas, I want to get a gold tooth like Joe Pesci in Home Alone. I'm going to go around smiling at kids like this. Ting! With a little ting. And I want to see if they set a bunch of traps and ruin the parents' houses. Okay, last one. A bit deep these ones are. Well, not so much the Joe Pesci one. Okay, last one is, what if we do live in a simulation and the purpose is for a species to become technologically advanced enough for our consciousnesses to transcend our bodies and leave the simulation and enter the real world? So imagine like in the Matrix where, Neo unplugs. What if we just need the technology? What if the whole point of life is to develop a technology so that our species can be unplugged? What if there's like loads of simulations with loads of different races and species, not races so much, species and different creatures, and all of them are just trying to get to a point without destroying themselves or each other? That's an interesting one, right? Those were my scuba facts. Check me out next time. I'm going to be back. I don't know when. Sometime. Maybe. It'll happen. Drop me a like. Drop me a subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know how ridiculous I am. I was in the mood for talking this week. Oh, we were in the mood for talking. And I talked a lot about myself as well instead of just like stuff that's going on. So, I don't know. It was kind of cool. I don't want to leave it this long till next time, but it was kind of cool to have time to think these things over and go through them a little bit instead of just being like blah 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 blah, bunch of pop culture references and stuff. So I don't know. Cool guys, catch you next time.